We're here celebrating the newest book from Nelson Harris called 1950's Roanoke. So we did a 1940s book 4 years ago. We're very excited about this beautiful book. Nelson's behind me signing them now. But we decided to come to the Grandin Theater and celebrate with books from the 50s and music and just have a good time, and then he's going to talk about how and show pictures of the 50s in Roanoke.
We're here to launch the book, The Roanoke Valley in the 1950s, and we're doing this from the Roanoke Public Library Foundation, which funded the book, and so we're just kind of celebrating the 1950s through some visual images of the Roanoke Valley back in that decade, and just having a great time. Well, I think, first of all, it takes a lot of people down memory lane, and so for people that grew up here in the 1950s, it's a fun book, it's a fun project, but it also documents life during that decade in the Roanoke Valley, and there's nothing to date that's been written about the Roanoke Valley in the 1950s, so I'm hoping it will be a good resource and a good reference for folks going forward, as well as something that's enjoyable for, again, folks to look back on a period of time in Roanoke's history that was very interesting and dynamic.
You know, the Virginia Room's well known for having resources, but we feel a very strong vocation to preserve local history. So Nelson's book tells stories that need to not ever be forgotten.
Well, I think for me, some of the things that I enjoyed as a kid, now I was born in '64, so the 50s predate me. But the Children's Zoo on Mill Mountain opened in the 50s. The Roanoke Symphony got started in the 1950s. Roanoke had its Diamond Jubilee, which was the 75th anniversary of the city. Huge event. Vinton Dogwood Festival kicked off in the 1950s. Miss Virginia pageant in Roanoke launched in the 1950s. So there was a lot of things that, had been around for years in Roanoke and in the Roanoke Valley that got started in the 50s that I didn't realize started in that decade. So it's kind of neat for me as a native Roanoker to read about the origins of these things and how they kind of came to be.
The Roanoke Public Library Foundation beautifully was founded in the 1950s when the main library was built in Elmwood Park. So you can go to the website for the library and find information about that or talk to anyone about that, because they do a lot of support for our summer reading and for events like this, and actually supporting local research like this as well.
Yes, I'm already working on it. Already got 1960 and half of 1961, done, and so hopefully in a few years we'll have the Roanoke Valley in the 1960s.